Hey guys, I've been thinking about this for a little while, and maybe as a man, I was a little tough on somebody recently in a video, and it was only because I was of my own anger problems. I still deal with it, folks. I'm no different than any of you. We all have our demons. One of mine is anger. I try to fight it. I still do it. I'm no different than none of you. I'm no better than any of you. Any of you that watch me, I am no better than you. We are all covered under the same grace of God when we decide to be. If we don't decide to be, well, you're not covered under anything. But I am a righteous man, and I am covered under the grace of God. And there is none of you that cannot be the same as I am. There's none of you, but you have to make that choice. You have to make that choice to be a righteous person. And if you don't know what a righteous person, folks, if you don't know what that is, you really need to look that up. Because that word is used in the Bible many times. Jesus was not the only righteous person that ever walked the earth. No. Lot and his family was a righteous family. His wife didn't make it much farther, but there are many righteous people on the earth. Many. I am far from being unique. I'm not even a preacher, folks. I don't consider myself a preacher. I was never put here to be in that position. I wouldn't have been the person I am or was. I'm not a preacher. I am not even a teacher. I'm not a teacher of any man. I can teach you some things. There's a lot of things I know that you can learn from me. But I don't claim to be a teacher of anybody. The only thing I claim to be and I feel this is what I was put here to be. I'm not the herder, and I'm not the sheep. I'm a tool that the herder uses to protect the sheep. That's all I am. There are people, there are government scared of me. They call me armed and dangerous. And that's true. I've spent many times handling many different kinds of weapons in my life. I owned many types of weapons. Never had to use one of them as of yet. Never felt the need, but I've always carried them. Never had to. I used to ask people, I used to call people sheeple, and they would look at me. I ain't no sheeple. I'm a wolf. I say, do you even realize what you're saying? You're claiming not to be a sheep, but the thing the sheep should fear. The sheep are protected from the wolves by the herder and by his dogs. You could have picked anything other than the wolf, because it's funny. It's funny how democracy was described by my great, however many great grandfathers you want to put in front of that great in front of the grandfather part. But Benjamin Franklin was my grandfather on my mother's side. And he said a democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding on what's for dinner. That's your democracy. That is not your republic, folks. I'll stand with any republic of the United States of America. You want to stand and fight? I'll stand and fight with you for that republic that our forefathers gave us, whether all of it was right or none of it was right. Everybody in the world wants to come here because of what they built and what this country once was. It's not that today, folks. It's not that. Nothing is made in America today. The cars that used to be made here, folks, I had a 1973 Plymouth Fury two-door Sport. Running on bald tires from Florida back up to Indiana with two other guys in the car with me. Bald tires. We hit a bridge at about 70 miles an hour that I was driving. One guy, the car was so big, he decided he was going to sit on the floor of my front seat and lay his head on a pillow on the seat of the front seat. That's how big this car was. The other guy, we had the trunk full of fireworks and all kinds of shit, and luggage and other things. And the other guy was laying in the back seat with a lot of some of our luggage and shit. But he was laid across the back seat asleep. I'm running at 70 miles an hour. I hit a concrete bridge that had water standing all across it with bald tires. I started hydroplaning. We had traffic all around it. I was in the hammer lane with traffic all on in front of me, beside me, and on in back of me. My car started hydroplaning, which means floating, no traction. My car went straight off right into the bridge, concrete bridge. Boom, I hit it and just started spinning across the interstate. Now, once I lost control, I yelled out in the car, "Hang on!" Well, the guy that was on the floor sleeping with his head on the seat, he woke up. Guy in the back woke up. They're looking up, and all they see is us spinning like this till we slammed up against the side of all the way to the other side of the interstate, crossing all that traffic, never touched another vehicle. We were running in traffic. We slammed up against the other side. Everybody's going, I'm going, are you guys all right? Well, we're not even hurt. People driving by us going, are you all right? Are you all right? People that on the bumper of my car I had on this Plymouth Fury, it moved it maybe a couple of inches at the bottom of the bumper. At 70 miles an hour. If you was to do that in a car today, you would explode that car would explode and just be pieces laying everywhere. I don't even remember where I was going. This old man shit. I'm just rambling, folks. Anyway, God loves you guys. I love you. The only thing that's important is that you follow the narrow path to the narrow gate. If you're not on that narrow path and you don't find that narrow gate, you're going to be on the highway to hell. And if that don't bother you, with everything that's going on today, they're talking 50,000 people died in Turkey on that earthquake. They're talking all this stuff going on over there in Ukraine, whether it's true or not. This clown's coming back. He just got $28 billion from you last week. Now he's asking for $2 more billion in Ukraine. How many billions or trillions of dollars do you think your family members can afford to pay back? Because you certainly are not going to pay off this debt. But every time you get in one of your elections, you let them know you're backing it. You're backing that debt. Every time you vote, you back that debt. So I tell you this, America, you back these wars. You back its interest rates. You back all this stuff, the corruption of America has become. You back it. I won't. And don't think God's going to back it with you. You'll be backing it on your own. Till you figure out, have you guys seen this? Oh, it's so marvelous down here in, where is it, Osprey or something, that them people got in there worshiping and they haven't stopped. People coming in from all over. This is a college down in Osprey or something. People are coming in there from all over. They haven't stopped. That's so great. Brings tears to my eyes. I love you guys. Great Awakening is marvelous. Wish I could have went. part of it. Love you guys. God loves you. Till the next one.